Hey guys, Toby Morrison here from CFS Health, if you can see that there. Today I'm talking to you about brain fog. Hopefully you don't have it really badly right now, otherwise you wouldn't be able to understand a word I'm saying. However, brain fog is such a common symptom with chronic fatigue syndrome, and there's 4 reasons why that is, and there's 4 reasons or 4 ways to overcome it and improve it. So first of all, if you're going through brain fog, typically what it is literally what it means is fogginess of the brain. So it's almost like there's fog in front of you and you can't see anything past it. You might find it hard to have conversations. You might find it hard to understand what someone is saying. So you can hear it, but you can't necessarily process it. And things like just reading literally a few words on a piece of paper might be hard for you. So with brain fog, yes, it's normal, but here's why it's happening and here's how you can reverse it. So the first thing is when your sleep is impaired, or you're having trouble sleeping or falling asleep or having restful sleep, your brain just doesn't get refreshed and restored. So it's very natural that you feel foggy when you're constantly having trouble with sleep. Now it's funny, chronic fatigue syndrome, you think that you'd sleep all day, but usually after a while what happens is the roles reverse. You might sleep for 16 hours a day initially, but then what happens is you have broken sleep over a 24 period. So whilst you might be resting all the time, you're actually not switching off your brain. Your body is not actually switching off into homeostasis, healing state, and that is why you get disrupted sleep. A few reasons that happen is 1, because you're out of routine. 2, because you're quite inactive and you're not doing much movement because you physically or mentally can't right now. And usually that's a combination of 2. So you're doing a lot less than what you were doing prior or previously to getting sick with ME. And the other thing is, with sleep is you get out of a routine and structure that you can stick to, because there assumes to be good days and bad days. And that's really tricky to figure out, okay, what can I do, what can't I do? Some days you feel great and you push yourself, other days you don't feel good and then you don't do anything. And so this is where it gets really tricky with sleep. So if your sleep's not going great, that may be a reason that is causing your brain fog, organically. And that's something that most people don't look at and go, oh, well, I'm not sleeping well, or I'm in broken sleep state, so I'm not getting the rest that my brain needs in order to function well. Okay? We all know, even healthy people, if you don't get good sleep, you definitely don't function at an optimal level. So we need to reverse that. The second reason why you may have brain fog is lack of movement and blood flow. Now, most people with chronic fatigue syndrome, they tend to move less, and that's absolutely normal and probably a good thing initially. But what happens is once we stop moving completely, the blood flow through our body doesn't work. So, there just isn't much going on. It's quite stagnated. So we know that movement / exercise, I like to call it movement because we don't want to exert your body. We want to, reinvigorate and give energy, not exert it. When you move, you create blood flow, you create energy. Therefore, things start to work in an organic way and start to progress things through your body. Whereas if you're stagnant, you become deconditioned, and your body just starts to shut down even more. Therefore, your body is not connected to your brain, even though it is. Our brains are connected to our body, but when we don't use it much, it starts to disintegrate, and we can't actually get that connection working well. So blood flow and movement is key, but it has to be done in the right amount, and everyone's so different, so it's really important to figure out what works for you. You might be completely housebound or bedbound, or you might be working full-time but still struggling with CFS, and so therefore you need to make sure that you've got a right balance of exactly the right movement that you want to do versus overdoing it, pushing yourself, and not doing anything helpful for your health and your body. Now, the third thing that can be causing your brain fog is nutrition. So a lot of people think they're eating well, but most things from the supermarket, even 80% of them, is filled with sugar that you wouldn't even know, and most of it's added. So you might have a drop in blood sugar levels throughout the day. And so what happens is you might eat something and it will spike your blood sugar levels, and then it will give you a big depletion and a low after it. That's like a high and a low, push and a crash, push and a crash. So what you want to do is make sure that you're eating regular nutritious meals. And usually that's wholesome foods. Obviously, plant-based is helpful. Anything that's good produce, and we all know what it is. It's just that we need to regularly eat it. If you eat consistently, you'll make sure you've got that fuel in your brain and your body. We know that without it, our brains don't function as well. Okay, obviously there is no right diet, and it's not about doing a fad diet, but more importantly, listening to your body and figuring out what works for you. Okay, but nutrition plays a huge part in your brain activity. Healthy fats can be really good. Things like nuts, avocados, fish. What else? Yogurts. Creams such as coconut cream and coconut oil. Even olive oil is really good on your salads. Things that are going to actually bring the fats into your body that actually help you think clearer and move better. Okay, you need to think of it as a car. If you put in bad fuel, it might not necessarily work so well when you start the engine. We're just like cars, but we sometimes don't treat it like we are. All right, we need to treat ourselves like we're the Ferrari, and we need to top up regularly so we make sure that we're nice and clean, we're oiled, and we're well groomed. Let's just say it's a shiny red car that we can continuously look at and go, it's going well. Fourth thing is deconditioning of the brain and the mind. So what happens after a while when we don't use something, we tend to lose it. It starts to decondition. Okay, so this is quite normal and natural. Let's just say you were a reader or you were academic and you were really good at reading books. What happens is after a while, once you stop reading those books and doing those things that you used to do, you automatically just don't do it much anymore. So your brain and body gets used to that. So all we've got to do is reverse that on a slow but steady scale. The same thing happens with physicality. Once you stop moving, your body starts to decondition and you start to become weaker, your muscles don't work as well, you become sore and more achy, and you actually, just don't function as good as you could or as good as you used to. So what we've got to do is reverse that and recondition the brain, recondition the body by doing the things that actually help doing that. It's as simple as, it might be reading one sentence a day, or it might be doing a colouring book, or it might be writing a journal. Whatever you can do to help yourself, you should start doing. So, in summary, sleep is really important, not just for brain fog, but for everything, for everyone. 8 to 10 hours at least. If you're really struggling at the moment, it might be even more for you. But make sure that you're trying to go to bed at an early time and you're getting up at the same time every morning. Same thing with your movement. This is a big one that's, a big misconception in the world right now, especially with recovery from CFS, is movement. Jump on the YouTube channel, cfshealth.com, and check out the video on exercise and restorative movement, which will help you kind of get an understanding of what you should and shouldn't do, when you should do it and when you shouldn't do it. This way it'll help you figure out when you can move and when you shouldn't move, but making sure that you're on a structured routine and you're doing it consistently rather than intensely and then not being able to do anything at all, okay? You want to avoid the boom and bust cycle as much as possible. Instead, we want to get you on the right path consistently and regularly so you can keep moving forwards and progressing the way you want to, okay? Nutrition, food is fuel, so eat well, and that's just going to give you a lot of an edge towards, slowly disintegrating that brain fog of yours and also giving you improved concentration so you can do the tasks that you need to do. Simple as that. And I haven't had lunch yet, and it's, 2 p.m. So, I've had a late breakfast and a smoothie. So after this, I'll be eating a nice, healthy, nutritious lunch with good carbohydrates, good fats, and a source of protein as well. Okay. And then the fourth thing is obviously reconditioning your brain. So start to do things that actually help you regain control and regain learning, whether that's on a physical level or an emotional, mental level. Things like journaling, things like writing things down, even talking to people. You obviously don't want to overdo it. So, if you push yourself too much, you don't want to exert yourself. You want to do it in a level that you can handle and that you feel safe and comfortable with. And then you can obviously feel confident with that and then move forwards with that. So I hope that clears up the brain fog thing. There is no quick pill. I'm sure there's things that help, you know, supplements and all that kind of jazz, but I'm more interested in what you can do and what you can control and what you can progress from yourself, because you are the most important person and thing in your body, nothing outside of you, okay? So focus on the things that you can do. These 4 things are really, you know, they're super important for anyone. Sleep, movement, nutrition, and retraining or reconditioning your brain. We all need to do it. We all need to keep progressing. And of course, we can have off days and relaxing days, but more importantly, you know, you need to work towards your dreams and what you want to achieve. So focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. If this helps you, give it a like, share it with your friends, or you know, tag someone in it who will help. If you need any more information and you want more help, not just with your brain fog, but with your, you know, with your recovery or with your health, visit www.cfshealth.com. Sign up to my free daily emails, and I hope you have a fantastic day and that this video wasn't too long for you and that you could concentrate. And before I go, water. If you're dehydrated, you need to drink more water. Actually, that's number 5. We'll put that in. I hope that helps. Sip regularly on your water. Things like that will be really helpful for you. You know, and like I said, health is a forever thing. It's not just an overnight thing. So do it regularly, do it consistently, and you'll see results. Take care.